Everyone tells first-time buyers that getting into Toronto is impossible, but there are 5 specific neighborhoods inside the city where new buyers are closing deals right now. I'm going to show you all 5 on the map today, including prices, transit, and what the streets actually look like, especially number 3, which nobody is talking about. My name's Jordan Abrams, 9 years helping people buy in Toronto. Info's down below, so reach out if you're curious. Let's get into it. Area number 1, the Danforth. So taking a look at the Danforth here, it's on the east side of the Bloor subway line. So if we take a look here, we see Bloor and Yonge is back the center of the city, many people consider this. So if we just go slightly east along Bloor, you can see it turns into Danforth Avenue. And if we take a look at a typical street in the Danforth, you can see older homes, a lot of semis and detached mixed in together here. It's a very central area of the city, so space is limited. The average sale price in the Danforth right now is $1,070,000. So just over $1 million. You go right from this residential street all the way out to Danforth Avenue, and all of a sudden this is an extension of Bloor. So it's a very busy, happening area. It's known as Greek Town as well on the Danforth. There's the Greek Food Festival every year, and it has some of the best and most authentic Greek food in the city. And if we go back out to the main map, I'll show you how the transit access works here. It's very accessible by transit. So here's the Bloor-Yonge subway line. If I highlight this, you can see line 1 is the yellow line going north and south throughout the city. And the green line here is the Bloor-Danforth line that goes east and west. So right in the Danforth area, you see you have Pape Station, you have Donland Station, Greenwood. That's all along the Danforth, so it's very accessible by transit and specifically by the subway, which is the quickest and most reliable form of transit in the city. You can see it goes all the way from east to west. So we go all the way to Kipling, out past Etobicoke, near Pearson Airport, over here. So very central transit-wise. You can get from the Danforth to Bloor and Yonge in just about 10-15 minutes on the subway. Another thing we should talk about is all this green space, and this is going to be a recurring theme as we go through these neighborhoods. Toronto has some very good green space throughout the city, especially for a city this size. You can see the Don River runs all the way down here, parallel with the Don Valley Parkway, which is the highway that goes north and south throughout the city, turns into the 404 a little bit more north. To give you an idea of what the Don Valley Parkway looks like down here, it's right by the forests. It's a very busy highway, but it helps you get downtown very easily. We have Riverdale Park right nearby. You can see there's some new condos going up. This is a park complex that has about 5 or 6 different softball diamonds. It has this running track you can see here. It's a really beautiful park in the summer. So overall, the Danforth is a very good area for nature, for running, for cycling. You can see the bike lanes here, and you're still able to drive and get to the highway very easily with the DVP so close, and then also with the green Bloor-Danforth subway line making it very accessible to the rest of the city. Before we get into neighborhood number 2, if you're trying to figure out which of these neighborhoods actually fits your budget and your lifestyle, that's exactly the conversation I have with buyers every single week. All my info is down below, and I personally get back to everyone. Neighborhood number 2, Malvern in Scarborough. Using Yonge and Bloor again as the center point, because we just saw that with the Danforth just to the east over here. If we just go north of that, we'll end up in Malvern, which is a very up-and-coming area in Scarborough. Let me give you an idea of what a typical residential street looks like here. So like many areas of Scarborough, you have these wider streets. You typically have more detached homes and wider lots. You can get 50-foot or wider lots in Scarborough, which you definitely cannot get in a lot of areas of the city. And in general, it's a family-friendly area. It's really gentrifying and improving. In the past, Scarborough did have a not great reputation, but I would say over the last 10 years or so, it's improved quite a bit. Detached homes in Malvern go for around $1,020,000 on average, and the condo entry point is actually quite attractive at around $430,000 to $450,000. And if we center ourselves in Malvern again, can see just to the southwest here is Scarborough Town Centre. So this is a great plaza where you have a movie theater, you have a huge mall, you can see the Bay, Walmart, Best Buy, Superstore is a big grocery store, so Best Buy's here. You have banks, Superstore. So a great place to get all your shopping done. And here's an example of some of those condo buildings we were talking about, where you have the average price point around $430,000. So there's some of those right near Scarborough Town Centre, which is very convenient. You also have the 401 just south of Malvern, right here. It goes east and west all the way to Ottawa, Montreal, pretty much, and then on the west side past Hamilton and London, Ontario. So it's one of the best highways to get east and west throughout the province. It does get very backed up. And just like the other areas, you can see running all through Scarborough, we have these amazing park systems and trails. All the blue spots here on the map are little bodies of water, and then the gray spots within the green areas are all trails. So it's a very green space. This is just one of those roads you can see just with the trees all around. Now, number 3. I've been hinting at this one since the beginning of the video. Detached homes inside Toronto for under $700,000. Let me show you exactly where. Area number 3, Weston and Mount Dennis. This is the area I was talking about that might be the best value in the entire city. We're talking detached homes for under $700,000. This is the type of street you can expect. And some of these bungalows, I just saw one the other day, a client sent me, for $580,000 it sold for, a 2-bed, 2-bath bungalow. So this area has some insane value right now, especially in the buyer's market we're in spring 2026. The average home sale price in the Weston area right now is sitting at just about $585,000. So let's talk about transit now. So right here, right in Mount Dennis on Eglinton, you have the new LRT, which just started running this year after over 20 years of construction, and the main entrance is right there. So before we talked about this yellow line that runs north and south throughout the city. I'll show you what that looks like a bit zoomed out. So that yellow line is line 1, goes all the way from the east side down to Union Station and then up past York University and into Vaughan on the west side here. Let's talk about the LRT, which just opened, which is this red line that you'll see on the map. And this goes all the way east and west across Eglinton. You can see how far this goes out to Kennedy GO Station in Scarborough, where we just were, and all the way out here. And the last stop, wouldn't you know it, is right what we're talking about now, which is Mount Dennis. Right now, you can get into this Mount Dennis area before the home prices really shoot up like they usually do in areas where transit has improved so much. And you're going to start getting these really nice restaurants popping up. The area is going to be gentrifying. So these prices are definitely not going to last that long in an area that's now so well connected to the rest of the city. You also do have the GO Station here, which takes you north. It can take you all over places in Ontario, all over the province. And we have the Up Express. That's the blue line. And that takes you all the way to Pearson Airport directly. Here's Pearson, and it takes you downtown to Union. So the Up is a super convenient option for people. Adding to this, we have the Humber River running all throughout the Mount Dennis area, all the way down to the water. So you have beautiful trails, great biking paths, just a ton of nature. Maybe even more nature than the other areas we're talking about. Definitely comparable, but here's a really nice park with a softball diamond. This is just all throughout the Weston area and Mount Dennis. My cousin lives around here. They love biking, so they bike all over the city, and the trail systems run all the way downtown. 3 down, 2 to go. And these last 2 are probably the most interesting ones on the list. If anything so far has caught your attention, reach out directly. Numbers on screen right now. Neighborhood number 4, South Riverdale. Right here, positioned just above Lake Ontario, you have one of the most up-and-coming areas in the entire city. You are right downtown close to the water, so you notice the streets are a little bit more narrow, but you do have a ton of greenery, all these big mature trees, nice houses. And look, this area is a bit more pricey. We're talking about an average sale price that's just around 1.1 million and condo prices that are closer to 700,000. I helped people buy a townhouse in this area last year and they really love it. If you can afford the price tag that comes with this, it might be the best area on the entire list for you. You're right next to Queen Street as well in some of these areas, so you can really get all across the city. The biggest downside of this area is just that you can't can't really take the subway anywhere. So you're relying on the Queen streetcar, which is not a terrible option, but it does shut down fairly frequently, like a lot of TTC in Toronto. And taking that from this area of South Riverdale into the city can take you about 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the time of day and how many stops the streetcar is making. A counterpoint though is if you're driving, you do have the DVP just right over here. So it's very convenient to just hop onto the DVP or the Gardiner Expressway that runs east and west throughout downtown. You also have Lakeshore Boulevard, a very convenient road. Now they do get really backed up, but it's nice having them so close to you because you're going to have to take the DVP a lot if you live in Toronto, and you're going to have to take Lakeshore. Now, one of the biggest benefits to living in South Riverdale is that you're so close to the water. There's this biking and running trail that runs all the way along Queens Quay, east and west throughout the city. So if you're in Riverdale, you can get on this path super easily. I used to run here all the time when I lived downtown. It's really nice, and you're right by the water the entire time. You have McCleary Park, which is right here. I used to play softball here for years. Finally won a championship after about 7 years of trying. So that's something you get in the area. Really, it's not such a busy area once you get south of Lakeshore. It's just really trying to get into this area that's a bit tough. And Lakeshore gets really backed up. There's always construction. Area number 5, Mimico. Mimico is one of the fastest growing areas in the entire city. Show you what a typical street looks like here. So average sold prices in Mimico are hovering around 800,000. So you can get into one of these detached bungalows for a really good price. You get a decent sized lot. You're super close to the lake, which is pretty great. Like we were just talking about with Riverdale on the east side. Now on the southwest side, you get some of those same advantages, but at a much lower price point. Condos, you can expect to pay about $520,000 as your entry point. You have all these condos that have shot up in the last 5 to 10 years or so in the Mimico area, and you are very close to the water still, right by Lakeshore and by the highway. So it's become a really desirable area a lot of young families are moving to and young professionals. You also have the Mimico GO station to take you all over the city and all over the province, just like GO stations do. So that's very convenient. And you can see it's not that far from the heart of Mimico, which is where all these condos are. One of the downsides, unfortunately, is if you're driving along Lakeshore during traffic or you're on the Gardiner, you're definitely going to take a while to even get into Toronto. You can see on the map, like Toronto is not that far from Mimico. It's just over here. And Mimico's down here. But with traffic, it can take an hour. The streetcar can take an hour sometimes to get into Toronto. I would definitely say the GO train is your best bet going from Mimico to Toronto. And we have the Humber Bay Shores running throughout this area. I'll show you one of my favorite trails in the whole city that goes throughout Mimico. It runs all along the water here, and this goes all the way from Mimico to Toronto. So it's this beautiful trail. You're actually pretty close to the heart of Mimico still, so you have the condos right here, some of them right on the water. But this trail just keeps going, and then you have this awesome view of Toronto in the distance. You can see the CN Tower there. So just across the water, you have Mimico, and then you have Toronto. And it's a really nice place for nature, for running, for biking, taking your dog for a walk, but not paying anywhere near the prices you would pay in Riverdale, for example, or in downtown Toronto. Today we talked about 5 different neighborhoods, all great for first-time buyers in Toronto. The Danforth in the East End, right off the Bloor subway line. And then just northeast of there, we had Malvern. Straight to the west, we have Weston and Mount Dennis. Then back southeast, we have South Riverdale, right by the water. And finally, just a straight shot west from there, we have Mimico. 5 neighborhoods, 5 completely different realities. The right one depends on your budget, your commute, and what you actually need from where you live. If you want to figure out which one fits your specific situation, that's exactly what I do. 9 years helping first-time buyers get into this market. All my info is down below, and I personally get back to everyone. Hit the thumbs up if this video helped and subscribe. New Toronto real estate videos every Tuesday and Friday. I'm Jordan Abrams. I'll see you around town.